Happy Friday, Playboy.
Happy Friday, my man. Cheers to episode 2.
Let's do it, man. What are you drinking?
I got a little vodka tonic with a splash of lime. How about you?
I mean, I like that. Look at that. You talk about like maintaining calories, carbs. That's the way to do it right there. I've got a fine 18-year-old sherry whiskey right here called Glendronach.
See, first of all, I can't afford that. Second of all, I can't handle the hard stuff, bro. That's just reality, you know? I'm trying, but I got to go with this light little. I can't, the brown, can't be going that brown. I'll hurt myself.
Bro, dude, brown and the light, it's all the same, buddy. It's all the same. It's just like different
I
colors,
feel
man.
like we're diving into some cultural discussions here. That's what we're
Don't
going to
be a racist, dude. Do not be a liquor racist, bro.
I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I'm just saying I might not make it home. You know what I mean?
Always the whitest dude in the room, bro, who's against the brown.
I mean, I'm married to a brownie, so yeah.
I'm very much married to like the whitest human being on the face of the earth.
Now who's the racist? I'm just saying.
I'm Cuban, B. I'm Cuban, B. You know? Are you kidding me? I see ice agents and I'm like ducking around the corner, dude.
Bro,
What are you talking about?
I see ice agents. I'm ducking around the corner. I saw one. I didn't even get to tell you. We were at the movies. My little kid's at the movies, and we park, and there's a DHS SUV, and it's like on and running. Not that I'm worried about, but I'm like, why is it sitting there running? It's the movies on a Sunday. So we go in to watch this. It was Bad Guys 2. Okay, like shocker. So of course my daughter has to go to the bathroom the last 5 minutes of the movie. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go quick. But I go outside. We're at the end of the movie like corridor. There's only one other theater, and there's like 4 adults in jeans and like flannels in South Florida standing by the movie theater door. It was a little off. So let's just say we waited a little while before we left the movie after it was over, because I didn't need to see my kids watching something like that. And that is not what I needed, but neither here nor there.
You were just afraid they were going to take Mel. You were just afraid they were.
I mean, I'm putting this out there. You know this. Mel is the most American of Americans. Like, her family had that land before it was America. People were like, when did you guys come to America? She's like, we didn't. They just
They
moved
came
the
to
lines.
us.
We didn't go anywhere. They moved the lines. So I'm like, what? 2nd generation Scottish, 3rd generation Irish? She's like, yeah, you need to take your foreign ass up out of here. I'm the real.
I love it, man. She just went straight Malcolm X.
Yep.
She's like,
Just told me
Plymouth
what was
Rock.
up.
We didn't land
Yeah.
on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Yep. So I gotta let you know, man. I got a call. It was Taylor Swift. She was reaching out and she was like, hey, I want to be on the podcast. I want to release the album. And I was like, listen here, Tay-Tay. We didn't even ask you to come on the show. You don't make demands. We make invites. That's not the way this works. You take that down the street to new heights. Do it with your boyfriend over there. Maybe he'll throw you some charity. That's how it works. Like,
Don't you got beef with Travis anyways, bro? Haven't you and Travis had beef for years?
Yep. I complete. Travis and I's beef dates back to 2018. This is real talk. I'm not even messing around anymore. So the wife and I are in Atlantis, in the Bahamas, for a couple days. Not long situation. And it was like February, so it's the off season, right? So we're going to go on the lazy river, and you got to get the spot where you get the rafts, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, hot commodity, like the rafts, everybody's trying to get them, you know? So my wife's over there, she grabs 2, and she's kind of trying to figure something out. So we're looking around, see where she's going, and there's this big dude there back to me. I don't, you know, but I see him reach out, this guy, and tries to like snake one of the rafts from her, like she wasn't going to notice, like she wasn't going to see someone take something out of her hand. And I see it going down. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So I'm like walking in. I already saw it coming, and I'm like walking towards, and he like pulls on it. She kind of pulls back, and now I see it's gonna. And I look, and I'm like, "Hey man, what's up with you? It's my wife's raft, bro." And he turns around, and it's fucking Travis Kelce, dude.
Did he laugh at you? Because I would have laughed at you. And you know, I'm a little surprised because he seems so kind.
He lets it go, like he lets go of the raft, and then I get back. I start walking back, and our friends are there, and they're like, "Hey man, that was Travis Kelce. And I got to stay hard about it, dude, because I was like, I had to have, this is my face when he turned around. But then I got back down and I was like, that's my wife's rap, bro. I don't give a fuck. I got to stay with it the whole time. Like, I'm not going to let that 6'5" motherfucker handle me. All 5'10". He wants some of this, he can come get it. And I walk off. Oh my God,
I've seen you.
so
You're
lucky I
not
survived.
5'10", bro. You're not 5'10". You're like 5'9.5". And I totally get
I
it
round up.
because I round up for height and I round down for weight. And I know that that's what you're doing right now.
Oh, I rounded up. I rounded up, and you know, he at 6'5", I might be rounding him down, dude. He's a big boy. But I walked away and lived to tell the story. So Travis knows better. Don't be taking people's wrath, especially not my wife, homie.
That's the thing about these NFL players or any professional athletes. These guys are fucking mutants, dude. Like they're not human.
All
You
right.
see them, they're like human velociraptors. I was at the Boca Raton the other day, all right?
Yeah.
And we were doing like a staycation, and that property's lovely. Michael Dell did it up right. Absolutely stunning property. We go play golf. Every spot in the driving range has a TrackMan, so you could see how terrible you're hitting the ball and how far it goes. I look next to me and I see this mutant of a human being. I'm like, this guy's got to be an athlete. Turns around, it's Joey Bosa.
Oh.
I mean, dude, here you got #1 pick in the NFL draft.
Yep.
I mean, he's a human velociraptor. If he even looked at me side-eyed, I'd be, yes, sir, no, sir. Whatever you need, man. You want my clubs? Take them all. They're a half-inch short, but you know what? They're good, I promise.
So I'm gonna put this out there. In my defense, when I went walking up and his back was to me, I mean, it was the off season, so do you, bro? It didn't have that Velociraptor feel. I'll just say that. Like, in better shape than me, but for his caliber of play being what? I mean, they're talking about him and Gronk, 2 best tight ends of all time.
He's first ballot Hall of Famer.
Didn't look as action figure-esque as I thought it would, which is why it kind of snuck up on me. I just thought it was a big dude. Turns out, first ballot Hall of Famer. That's why, thank God.
That was 7 years ago, though.
Yeah.
He's had his glow up, dude. He's glammed up a little bit, and even before Taylor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
but now he's sleeping on them satin sheets, bro. Like living that life.
you know how it is, dude. It's like, you know how we've just gotten uglier and uglier as the years have gone by.
Yep.
Like Travis has gotten better looking year in and year out, dude. It's kind of like Tom Brady, same thing. You see him like at the draft, and you look at Tom Brady, 6th-round pick, kind of a little flubby, and he's just gotten better looking. I mean, you should have seen him at that statue ceremony the other day. Guy looked like a male model. I mean, Zoolander would have been fucked.
I don't know how he's doing it, bro. That avocado ice cream lifestyle.
Bro, those are all, that's what I like to call devil deals.
Yep.
Devil deals, you know?
Yep.
Like, there's no way. There's
deal.
no way everyone could be this fortunate.
But anyways, thinking of fortunate and sleeping on satin sheets, I want to talk about that transition where we left off last time, going through leaving the government employ into the big time world of private practice. And I'm like, oh, now it's time to make those big bucks, going into insurance defense, man. And back to our theme of the show here of personally injured and the beatdowns we were catching. I'm thinking, this is it. I'm going to have that lifestyle. I'm going to have that Tom Brady lifestyle, bro. Giselle's probably going to be calling. I'm making that bank. They might have a private jet. I don't even know. But I get this job, going in, making a few more bucks. And little did I know, man, I had no clue how much crazier it was going to be going into a situation where you start to learn how many lawyers out there. That was my first thing I noticed. How many lawyers out there that have been doing it for like decades weren't like, they don't go to court. And we had been going every day, all day, nonstop in court, and now you're getting there and people are like, they need directions. Like they're asking you where to park. And these people are like your boss. So I remember that transition right out of the gate. And I was like, we're not at the courthouse all the time? Like, what, we're not doing that? We should be there every day, right? And they're like, no, we need to get over there. You need to type some shit. Like, Started writing some reports, getting some billable hours in. Little did I know that the haunting, almighty billable hour was coming my way, and I was going to be sitting there dealing with that new ass-kicking stress that was coming my way. As I thought, this is it. This is the time. Now we're going to make those bucks. So I know that was my transition, but you got to tell me about your situation, bro. Because I remember we
Oh,
kind of left at the same time, and you went to the other side, right?
oh, well, yeah. I was smart enough to know that I can't do billable hours, man. I just can't do it. Don't, first of all, don't you gotta like bill every 6 minutes? Like, is that true or is that a myth? You
Capture
bill
your
every 6 minutes?
I worked with this dude who used to use the term Krillin, and it was creative billing because he would just make shit up, dude. And he'd come into the office and be like, "Gotta get my krill on." And I'd be like, "All right,
I
man,
couldn't do
whatever."
it, and I couldn't do
Because
it,
they
man.
set
Let me.
quotas. It's like a sweatshop. You got to hit this amount of hours per month, and if you don't, somebody is busting your ass about it. So, but anyways, man, you made the
I,
smart moves. Tell me about that.
well, I'll tell you about it. The reason why I didn't do it, I got Crohn's disease. If I had to like do every 6 minutes, and like I'd be like, well, I was in the bathroom, like like what do you want me to do over here? I can't be billing every 6 minutes. And I was like, this ain't gonna work for me. It ain't gonna work for me. Nah, man. Look, the reality is, I did get offers from insurance defense firms, and I was like, I just couldn't do it, man. I knew that if I had to write reports every 6 minutes, even while we were at the state attorney's office, and they were like, "Oh, I need null pros memos," I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'll get that to you." Never did them.
Did you have?
I don't think I ever wrote one null
Did
pros
you?
memo. I was just like, whatever,
So the
not
world,
doing it.
so that the world knows the null prospect was if you drop the charges, you got to write a memo as to why you did. Somebody's gonna read it and come back and give you a hard time about it. So, did you have the box? Did you have people had boxes of these files in their trunk that they were just hiding out? They didn't write their memos on because they didn't want to A write the memos and didn't want to get or B didn't want to get their ass handed to them for whatever they weren't supposed to do or some trial they didn't want to go to. So they had boxes of these things and they would quit, and then all of a sudden a box of files would just appear in their office when they left.
Nah, man, I was like Peter in Office Space. I just didn't even, I didn't even
Just
pretend
left.
about it. I was like, yeah, 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 I'll get it to you. Don't worry about it. It's coming.
Yep.
Oh, you need it? All right, you'll have it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and goes. And I'm like, oh, I could have sworn I left it on your desk. I wrote it. Oh, I must not have saved correctly.
So you went straight into PI, right? Right on the plaintiff side, personal injury, right?
Straight plaintiff side, personal injury, and listen, the transition itself was not easy either, man. You show up the first day, dude, Ian, you think I knew what the hell an interrogatory was? I had no idea what this was. Discovery, gotta wait. Request for admissions, request for production. I'm like, wait, what is this stuff? I'm like, how do I answer this? Like, what's the right terminology to write in the discovery responses? And it would be cool if I had a mentor, but where I went, there weren't mentors. They were just demons. Demons that just like expected you to know everything and then yelled at you and thought you were an
How
idiot
could
if
you
you
not
didn't
know
know
that?
something.
How could you
How
not
could
know
you
that?
not?
I
You
told
came
you.
highly recommended from the state attorney's office. Yes, I came highly recommended because it was what I could do in court, the way I could talk in front of a jury, the way that I could talk in front of a judge, the arguments I can make. But when you're talking to me about writing like little paper responses and giving like discovery and like what the right response needs to be under these circumstances, I need you to teach me this first
Bro, they
before I
knew that.
become some Jedi master and get over there and show what's up.
They knew that. It was just when the hazing began, because I got it too. And the irony of it is, once you get the hang of it, all of a sudden you realize again, they were the ones that probably didn't really know what they were doing. I had a boss that would red ink everything. Everything I did, it would just come back with red ink all over it in that first insurance defense job that I had. Come to find out that we get this case, this awful death case. It's just terrible. This family the guy had like epilepsy and shouldn't have been driving his car, and he had a seizure and like passed out of the wheel, and they went into the canal. And like, yeah, I had to read through these. It was just awful, just brutal. I don't want to get into it. The mother and the father died, and the little girl survived. Like, and she got out of the car, like swam out. Mom's trying to get the dad out. They both drowned. But so we get this case, and he's like, "Yeah, I want you to be on this with me." Now I've been there for like a year, and he's like, "I'll be your first chair. Well, get you in on this, but put your name on there. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then he's like, hey, we got brought in the case a little late. It's set for calendar call. Do you know what happens at calendar call? And I thought he was like quizzing me. And I'm like, oh, he's quizzing me. Then I realized, I look at his face, he doesn't know. This dude had never been to a calendar call. He's my boss. We got this horrific case. And he's like, yeah, put your name on it, Ian. And I'm like, what? And that was the moment that I realized something's a little off in this situation.
To be fair, it was a lot easier to get a continuance in 2010 than it is in 2025.
Yep.
All right. So he probably showed up many times over. Hey, Judge, I still need to take this deposition of the person who screwed in the lug nut of this vehicle in 2007. And I just need to take it to make sure they didn't do anything wrong, so I could put some liability on them.
Mortified, man. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go maybe weigh my options, maybe get to a different insurance defense firm. So what while they're hazing you, did anybody treat you good over there, or what happened on that side of things?
Oh man, listen, I knew it was always going to go south from day number one. I should have known better. But you know what? I'm like, I still got scars. Let's just say that. I go see Dr. Betamine, once a month to just talk about everything that happened at that job, and it's not going to go well when your welcoming party to the firm is a trip to Tootsies, okay? All right? Literally, that's what it was.
Go really well.
Listen. I'm 29. At that time I was 29 years old. And look, I hate to break it. That wasn't my first time at a gentleman's club,
All right.
It wasn't my first time, but it was the first time I ever went where my job took me to it. And I thought that was weird.
Did they give you an allowance?
So I always thought there was a good separation of church and state. Obviously not at this firm.
Did they give you a stack of ones as your weekly allowance, or what happened?
Nothing, man. I told my girlfriend at the time, I'm like, listen, I just took this job. I just left the state. I don't want to look like a giant pussy. I'm going, all right? She's like, all right, go. I understand. But you are a giant pussy for going.
Did you get reimbursed?
No, man, they paid for everything, but they didn't pay for like any lap dances or anything, nor was I looking for one. Not really like the image or the thing that I want to portray on my first day on the job,
Day, oh my God.
First day on the job took me to Tootsies. And then and you know what? And that's when I realized there are like the only white knight position as a lawyer. The two white knight positions are either you're a public defender or you're a state attorney. After that, it's just like blurred lines, man. You got Robin Thicke just screaming out, pumping the music out.
Yep, I remember. I know it was some blurred lines. After I switched to the next insurance defense firm, I get there, get the job, I'm all excited, going in. Finally, at a more reputable firm, I think it's gonna be a better situation. I walk in. Happened to be walking to the first day with my new boss, who just came in from the garage simultaneously, coincidentally at the same time. He says, yeah, you're going to get to meet our paralegal, and she's also my significant other. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's going to go well. How is the paralegal your boss?
oh yeah. I spent the next 3 years basically like walking in there, like needing her to do something. She just did whatever she felt like doing. I walk in, I'd be like, hey, did you get to draft those subpoenas that we really need to go out on that case? And she's like, I didn't do that on my behalf. Oh, hey, whatever you need, because I didn't want to end up with a target on my back. Because, oh, by the way, in like the first month that I'm there, I meet this dude. He works in the team with me. I'm befriending, want to have friends at work, but he's a nice guy, seemed cool enough, whatever. Come to find out, I was his replacement. I didn't know. They were just waiting to make sure, hey, is he going to be all right? And then we're going to can this dude. And I'm here making friends with the guy. Then afterwards, like they were walking about. I had no idea he was coming. He texted me like, did you know? I'm like, no. I'm mortified. So on top of that, worried about getting a target on my back from the paralegal girlfriend. Then I gotta, I'm sitting there wondering, like, every time they hire somebody new, is that my replacement? Is that the plan? We're just looking for another upgrade. Like, it was crazy, man. So here I am again, thinking I'm moving on to bigger, better things. Spend the next 3 years stressing, and I had that. And that was BlackBerry days, dude. So I had the BlackBerry with the little, you get the little red blink when you got an email. And that boss used to go and do it on Sundays and would just like wouldn't really work that hard during the week, but on Sunday he came in to prove a point, show everybody how hard he was working, and it was just nasty, bust your ass emails, like, and I'm like, it just got to the point where I would just turn the phone over so that the little red light wouldn't even be blinking because I didn't want to see it. Didn't even want to know what emails was in there because I knew it wasn't gonna be good on a Sunday, and I was gonna have it interrupt my day anymore at that point. But that was like that only took like 2.5 years to get to that point where I was like, fuck this guy, I'm not doing that. But I will say, got a ton of experience. Can't knock it too much. Took a ton of depositions. Went to trial. We, it was crazy. But I don't know. Like, did they hand you work right away and let you just roll with it, or how? I mean, was it just trips to Tootsies and interrogatories, or what?
No, they just handed me all the work. They handed me the whole litigation department and nobody there to teach me how to run any litigation on the civil side practice. And then above all, and by the way, take me back to the BlackBerry days because you know what? The BlackBerry, hand of God, love that thing, love that little keyboard, and in fact, fell in love with my wife over BlackBerry Messenger.
Oh,
True story, man. BBM
it's all
was the hottest love language there ever was, man. Nothing better than BBM, man. That being said, talk about that. They got me a paralegal. And dude, of course, when you're the type of person who takes people over to like Tootsies on their first day, he hired this smoke show of a paralegal.
Didn't know nothing, I'm sure.
Smoke show of a paralegal, all right? Probably 5 years here from Cuba. And like if you're like the new wave of Cubans who come over to like Miami or Fort Lauderdale back in the day, you know, if you were female, your name either started with a D or with a Y, but you could never pronounce the first name. So it's always like whatever. So her name was D. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we call it. I just called her D. All right. And dude, she was cool and she was pretty, but like she didn't know what she was doing. She used to work at like a criminal defense firm. All right. And in fact, within the first month, and she only worked there for a month because she had 2 incidents within the first month that we worked there. 2. First one was, she's getting summoned in to the state attorney's office to give a statement about her old boss, who was a criminal defense attorney that you and I both went up against many times over, about the practices of how he ran his office and maybe some sexual harassment issues. All right. So I had to go in there with her
to rep her as her personal counsel.
Pretty much while she's giving the statement to make sure that the prosecutor, you know, and then you know this better than I. The prosecutors who go in there and they ask these questions, those are the soft ones. Those are the ones that aren't in court, you know. Yep. They're the lifers. This guy had to have been 60. He was a lifer. You know, nobody took him seriously. He was asking millions of questions, trying to be tough ass to her. And I was like, just don't answer. You don't have to answer anything. Whatever. Let's go. Let's go. Whatever. So that was within the first 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
2 weeks later, she goes out for lunch, doesn't come back, claims she was in an accident. Wasn't her who was in the accident. It was her boyfriend who was in the accident. Was committing like insurance fraud while working at a personal injury, you know, law firm. And the boss at the time just fired her immediately, rightfully so.
He tried to sign her up. It's like, get that case, sign that up.
Oh, he signed her up initially, and then he realized that she was lying, and then he got rid of her.
Well, speaking of fraudulent cases, I had my first trip to that rodeo when I was working at that last job, when I saw something I will never forget. So I had a case we went to trial on. Attorney on the other side was a good guy. I won't say his name. Worked hard. But, you know, I tried to warn him about the case. We had some damning evidence on his client. I said, look, man, you should take the money that's on the table. They're making you a decent offer. You should take the money. Don't try this one. I can't tell you what it is because, you know, I'd be doing a disservice to my client. So I'm like, just take the money. He didn't believe me. Went to trial. So we ended up, you know, I'd never seen anything like this. We're cross-examining his client. I'm like, do you have knee pain before the accident? She's like, no. Everyone just a doctor for knee before accident? No. And of course, I got this is back in the day of blow-ups before they had the Elmo projector that you could use. I drag out this huge thing, like pull it could have been anything bigger. It was like a billboard. I'm like pulling it out there, might as well have had wheels. And it's a note from her at the doctor complaining of knee pain in both knees, diagnosed with osteoarthritis. And then one juror has like a notepad, he's taking notes, and he just goes like this with notepad, just throws it up in the air. It's so annoying. So anyways, they come back. No, the dude lost the trial. Obviously it was what it was. So then like 2 weeks later, I get a new case from him. And this case gets dropped on my desk, and it is like a 3-foot high, I'm not even exaggerating, stack of medical records, just reams and reams of paper. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, so I got to dig into this. So I start reading through it. I see same guy on the case. I get through it all. I watch the video. This guy goes into this grocery store, doesn't realize he's being filmed from above, and he's looking around, and there's nothing on the ground. There's some guy working on, remember those like red box video machines, the DVD machines?
Yeah.
Working on one of those.
Those were awesome.
Had like some paper on the ground. And he's got his cart, and he's got like a backpack on his back, a backpack on his front, like 2 backpacks on each arm. Like, I don't even know what all that stuff was for, but he gets a cart. He just lets go of the cart, lays out, and just eats it and just falls on the ground for no reason. He's like writhing in pain. You see the employees come over. They're trying to check on him. He's flipping out every time they touch him. Like, they don't know. They haven't seen the video yet. And then they leave for like a second.
Ian, didn't you know Winn-Dixie has snipers, bro?
Yeah.
They got snipers
No.
in the scene.
Dude, they all do. So they got one of his little bags like fell over here, and he wanted to get it, so he like brought his leg up like in some contortionist way, he's allegedly hurt, gets the bag, slides back with his foot. So they take this dude out on a stretcher. That's the first thing I watched. Then I'm going through all the records, and the reason I got 3 feet high of records is because this guy had gone to the hospital, gets discharged, goes back. I guess they missed, or maybe, I don't know, they missed a punctured lung from a broken rib. And he ends up in the ICU, like medically induced coma, like craziness. All right. So I call his other attorney. I'm like, hey, man, you know we're cool, right? I didn't want to deliver the news. I'm like, and I like you, dude. Like, you're a good guy. But you got to walk away. He's like, what? He's like, you told me that stuff before. And I was like, and I didn't lie to you before, did I? And he's like, but it can't be. I'm like, look, I can't show you the video, but I can tell you.
That's the part, man. I tell defense counsel all the time, just show me the video.
I wish
you
I
know
could.
me. I'm a legit PI attorney, man. I am not a person who's gonna fuck with you.
They wouldn't let me.
You could show me that there isn't a case, I will walk away.
But I said, I was like, hey, man, I can't show you what's there, but I can tell you. So I lay it all out for him, and he's like, I'm like, you should be suing the hospital for malpractice, man. That's your case. That's your case. Run away from this one. Don't even. He's like, wouldn't believe me. So ends up, he asked me, he's like, well, how did you have these injuries if you faked it, Ian? And I was like, well, funny you should mention that, because the side where he has the broken ribs and the punctured lung isn't even the side that he fell on. So the better question to ask is, what in the hell did he do before he went to the grocery store that day? Somebody hit him with a bat, and they were like, hey, did he dive in front of a moving car? And he's like, oh, I'm going to go get paid this way. You don't have insurance car? I'm going to go over here and get paid. I'll just tough it out. But I don't even know how he was walking or, whatever. So he ends up doing like a motion to compel with the court. The court lets him see the video. I give the video, like, whatever. I'm glad I give the video. Ends up dropping the case, whatever, goes away. I never got to see the guy again. I always wonder what happened if he went and got the med mal case against the hospital and got big bucks for the guy. But I always wanted to find out what the backstory was, how this dude, like, did he have his kid be like, all right, here's it, hit right here, not too high, not too, just get up in there and break those ribs, and then we're
not too high, not too low, just right there.
Yeah.
You Goldilocks. you got the Goldilocks.
That moment, man, I was like, I think now's a good time to go to the plaintiff's side and jump on board and start getting that work done, man.
Welcome to the dark side, baby. And by the way, I say this with all respect. You know that I love Winn-Dixie, and I think that they are reputable and their attorneys are reputable. Everybody who represents Winn-Dixie is actually above board, and they're very, very fair establishment to work with.
It wasn't Winn-Dixie.
That I've had experiences with.
It wasn't Winn-Dixie.
I'm not saying that it was Winn-Dixie, but I'm the one who said that Winn-Dixie had snipers in their roofs where your guy faked his fall.
Is Winn-Dixie still open?
Dude, is it still open? It's the only supermarket on the Key. Where do you
Oh,
think I do all my shopping on Key
for
Biscayne,
real?
baby? Yeah, man.
Publix is not down there?
No, dude. There's no Publix.
Well, I mean, we used to do major work for a supermarket, obviously, and I used to crack my people up because I'd show them a picture of my phone, like, "Hey, man, we're out at this place, these friends, blah blah," and then they'd accidentally scroll, and my whole phone would be full of pictures of shoes, and people would be like, "What? You have a fetish, man?" I'm like, "No." When I go to these depositions, they make me take pictures of all angles of the person's footwear to see whether it was adequate footwear. So my whole phone while I was doing that work was just chock full of shoes, man. People just thought I was into feet. And I was just like, no, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want these pictures of my phone. I wouldn't delete them because I never knew when I was going to need them. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, I've been like talk about like the Winn-Dixie on Key Biscayne. I mean, when I tell you it's a free for all over there, it's a free for all. Not in a bad way. It's just like we're a beach town. Everybody's in sandals, which is kind of like the number one slip and fall footwear that anybody could ever wear, right? And then to make matters worse, they're understaffed for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I mean, you will find at times kids just having a soccer game within one of the aisles. Literally, with like a soccer ball just going down, you know, trying to like score at the end of the aisle against one another.
People are just diving out of the way, dude. One guy's up
Yeah.
there hitting a header. Like,
But I've seen it. I've seen it. I couldn't even make it up. It like happens. But what? It's the only supermarket on the island, dude.
I remember I
You
used to
know?
hear that stuff all the time. Like, oh, they got on flip flops. This isn't our fault. It's flip flops. Shouldn't have wear flip flops. Like, you sell flip flops in this store. You're gonna criticize them? They probably bought them here. Can't be after, you know. And I use it all the time
In
now. The
fact,
other day, if I got a slip balls, he's like, "Oh, they got on flip flops." I'm like, "Don't y'all sell flip flops in that store?" Just saying. Just saying. It's just hilarious. Or it's like, "Oh, she was wearing high heels," and I'm like, "You know, this is South Florida, right?
yeah.
It's like required. You're not."
It's one or two. If you're in South Florida, baby, flip flops or high heels.
Yeah.
No in between.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no way. Nobody, I mean, can't be criticizing something because it is the standard issue uniform.
That's
Can't be a
right.
hard time about with a 5-inch
Beach,
stilettos or whatever it
beach
is.
bums and Instagram models, man. You know.
That's what I'm saying. Well, anyways, man, as always, dude, it's a blast. I had a great time.
Always.
Cheers to you. Another episode of Personally Injured. Glad we got some of these stories out here, worked our shit out. You're not even going to need that therapist anymore when we're done here. You know that, right?
I'll give you her number. She's fantastic. And by the way, did I have Kung Fu lips today, or was that just episode 1?
Oh, yeah. We're working on that. We're going to edit that out.
Good,
But
bro.
yeah, man.
Edit
We're
it
going
out.
to subtitle you underneath, and you could just be like, "It's good to see you."
I like that.
Do some moves. Like, you can go full Bruce Lee if you want, man.
You know that I grew up on the Wu-Tang, baby. That's how I roll.
You and me both. Wu-Tang is here forever.
Wu-Tang forever, baby.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.